Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our midweek stock recap and trading analysis. Thank you so much for being able to join me tonight. I've been having a lot of fun with these live streams lately, so I'm trying to do them while I still have the time. I'm going to just quickly check the audio. Okay, there we go. So we got audio. We have 8 wonderful people in the chat right now, and we're gonna be going through a lot today. I really want to focus on looking at the bigger picture with the fibs and everything like that, discussing some of the setups, the longs and the shorts. All right. So yes, will be continuing to cough, unfortunately. So please bear with me on that. But as always, with any questions that you have, please post them in the chat. If you have any chart requests, please post them in the chat as well. Okay. So let's get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the price action for the week so far, okay? And the price action was actually very, very beautiful this week. And let's start from the beginning, okay? So as you guys know, coming into every single week, what I do is I draw the range of the previous week, okay? So we had a low at 41.01 and a quarter and a high at 41.8350. And we noticed that we opened inside of the range. And because we opened inside of the range, we knew that it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a back and forth. And we can see that. We can see ups and downs and a lot of battling. However, the fight is actually following a Fibonacci sequence. And that's what I really want to show you guys and teach you guys today. And let's take the Fibonacci. Let's draw it from the 41.01 and a quarter and let's bring it up to the high. Okay, so let me just make sure that I did that right. Okay, I got to bring this down by 1. All right, so that's the fib right there. Okay, so this is the fib of the whole week's range. And I wanted to point out, as you guys know, what I like doing is I like taking trades at the fibs here. Okay, taking them for pops. So the first fib that gave us a good play here was the 50. So from the 50, we had a pop of about 25 points. Okay. And then the next fib level at the 618, we had another pop here of about 18 points. And then again, the 786, we blew through it, but we did find support on the 886, which is one of the other Fibonacci levels that I like using a lot. And that was another 20-point pop. Okay, guys? So simply just taking these level by level approach with the Fibonacci can produce some great trades. Okay, so this is what we call, buying the dip, basically. All right. But what about the other side? What about the short side? Are there fibs on the short side? Well, of course there are, guys. This is the concept which I call the opposing. And the opposing comes from my book. Okay. So we take the first leg from high to low of the current week. We have a complete rejection at the 786. At the 786, guys, look how beautiful it is. We have a nice bearish bar, engulfing bar right here. That takes us down, okay? And then the next setup, if we go from high to low, this is called the sequence leg, okay? This is a concept in my book. This is called the sequence leg. So here's the sequence leg, takes us to the 50, another rejection. Look at this. Look at this synergy in the market, okay? This is what I call synergy. We pull to the 50 and we trade to the 50 extension, which is absolutely beautiful. So pull to the 50, trade to the 50 extension, and that is what we call symmetry. Okay, did I say synergy? I meant symmetry, okay? Then the next thing here is let's draw the next leg. And what do we got again, guys? We got another rejection right at the 50, okay? Another rejection at the 50, and we already dropped a few points. So the market is definitely fibbing out, okay? Let's say that, fibbing out. How do you know the treatment will start at 50, not 618 for setting up the limit order? Well, I talk more extensively about this in my book. David, do you have a copy of my book? But another thing that I like doing is going to a lower time frame. So let's say we have the Fibonacci's lined out, the 50, the 618. We can go to a lower time frame, like a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart, and look for confirmation there. Okay. Or what I've been doing a lot is just playing it level by level. How do you know what candle will be the last lower high when you draw the fib? So for the long fibs that I drew, I use last week's high and low. Okay, so that's what I like using, the previous week's high and low. And then for the short side, I'm looking at impulsive legs, and these impulsive legs, they come from experience. No, for SS, so this can be only applied to futures. No, this can be applied to everything. You give me anything. Give me anything you want. Give me a stock, give me whatever. Send me something, Perez, that you're looking at, and I'll show you the fibs on there. Fibs are everywhere because Fibonacci is just algorithm and robot trading. Pratam says, would you post any rejection supports happening live? Well, I day trade. I do a lot of different things. But right now I'm not doing my live calls anymore. I used to do them on Telegram. I'm not doing them right now because I'm moving. I'm going to be moving. So there's a lot for me to do. So I can't commit to posting the live calls right now. So I'm not doing it right now, but hopefully I'll get back to that soon. We have a chart request in here. Abby, HD. Go to the weekly. Let's hit the PayPal or XPEV charts. Okay, we'll do that together. Okay. All right. So Home Depot. This is a brilliant run. Okay. This fib looks like a 236 or a 382 or a 618 from this leg. So let's draw. Let me show you how. I draw fibs. Okay. So let's analyze the Home Depot chart together. Okay. So the main thing that you have to do is identify impulsive legs. Okay. So let's draw the impulsive leg. The first one is this push up. Okay. And we have something called a micro pullback. And then we have a new higher high. Okay. So anytime we have a new higher high, the leg, the anchor point shifts from here to here in what we call a sequence. All right. So if we were to take the Fibonacci from this low and take it to the high, look at this. Do you see this, guys? This is the first time I'm looking at this chart. Do you see how beautiful and precise and accurate the Fibonacci, the way that I trade is? Look at this. Right on the 786, almost to the exact penny. And then we explode. This is the power of Fibonacci. So please take a picture of this, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do. And I need you to understand and analyze how to use the Fibonacci. Okay. All right. So right now we had a 786. Okay. A 786 pullback trading to the 618 extension. You see that? This is why we have a rejection here. So this algorithm made a lot of money, a lot. And they made a lot of money. And that's why we're seeing some rejection over here, because the algorithm that purchased here is also going to be covering somewhere in the zone. All right. So right now for Home Depot, kind of just waiting to see what's next, because the big buys were down here. Okay. So I wouldn't want to be chasing anything. Okay. So Perez, he says, let's do PayPal and XPEV. Okay, let's do that. All right. So my friend Perez wants to know if fibs can be applied to everything. Okay. So I want to teach him. Okay. My job is to be a teacher. So let's just look at PayPal. All right. So let's draw the impulsive legs. So we had this big push. We had this pullback. We had another push, which was a double top attempt. And then we had this double bottom right here. And this is actually where I got into PayPal. Right here at 194 is where I entered PayPal. So I did take this trade with this double inside bar pattern right there. So beautiful one. But now with this new low, we have a new high. Okay, so our anchor point is back here. All right, our anchor point is back here. So now let's take it from the low to the high and look at this. Okay, Perez, I want you to look at this. You see that? Pull back exactly to the 618, bam, 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 and then pop. Beautiful. Okay, so from the 618, it's over 22% return. So that is the power of the Fibonacci. Okay, so study them. Get a copy of my book if you want more details. And that's what it is. That's what I do. Okay, so here, this is a good example, Perez, XPEV. Let's look at this. So I see two Fibonacci's. I see the first one coming from the all-time low to the high right there on the 618 again. So from the 618, let's see what the return is. Okay, that's about almost 50% return. And then I see the opposing leg, the short, if I take it from the high down to the low, see right here in the 618, right here, we have a big engulfing rejection. So from here, take this down, that's another 50. So basically on those two trades, you could have made 100% return. Beautiful. So Perez, my friend, does that help? Does that help to show you the power of the Fibonacci? Everything in high volume markets and stocks are based on Fibonacci because the algorithms and the robots are the ones that are moving these instruments. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense. So what else do we have? Fizz. Fizz is sitting on a fib. We take it from the low to the high. There's 886 right there. That's what I thought. Bam, bam. Already a nice pop. I don't really like this instrument because of this manipulation right here. See that wick? I would not be a part of that, but still, nonetheless, pretty good opportunity. You could get in right around here, put a stop down here, and see where it goes. All right. Okay. So Prabjot says Pepsi. Prabjot, are you in the private swing room? Because today we hit targets on Pepsi. Are you asking about that? So while we're here on Pepsi, okay, let me pull up the trading log. This is the April swing trading room trading log for the month. We have one loser only. And today we hit targets on Pepsi and Netflix. So it was a great day. Some good winners today. So let me discuss Pepsi. So what we did on Pepsi here, guys. So let me give you a full analysis. I should probably do a YouTube video on this. But let me give you guys a full analysis here, okay? So this is how Pepsi looked to me, okay? Last week when I got into Pepsi, this is how the chart looked to me, okay? So I'm giving you guys my full analysis here, okay? So pay attention. So what I saw here was an inside bar, but when I looked to the left, I saw a big a doji. So I seen that Pepsi was showing some rejection. However, Pepsi is very close to all-time highs, okay? So what I'm expecting is if Pepsi starts turning around bullish, that we can actually push through all-time highs. Okay. So Prabjot says no, he saw on Twitter. Okay, great. So now I'm explaining to you what I do in the private room. Okay. So here with Pepsi, this was my exact order. My entry was 144.26. My stop was 142.49. My first target, friends, always goes at 1-to-1. Okay. So here's 1-to-1. So if I put in $1,000, I make $1,000. Like that's the concept. Okay. And then the next target is at 1.25. Okay. Which we achieved today. And then from here, you get your stop loss to break even. Okay. And then you just continue to try to swing Pepsi as long as you can. But we always pay ourselves first. I always pay myself on the swing trade. So Pepsi was a very good one. And it has a relative strength. Okay. Because the market was down today, but Pepsi was up. So that's something to consider. Okay. So let me go to the private room. All right. I want to show you guys how I do it. Okay. Let's go here. Trading Wars private. So here we go. So this is the Pepsi trade. Okay. So on April 9th, okay, see April 9th at 4:10. So I posted my trade setups on Friday after the close. Okay. So this is how the chart looked. You see, it was just the doji and the inside bar. So what I post for everyone is, okay, guys, this is my entry. This is my stop. This is my first target. Use the stop limit orders so you can get filled on the breakout. And then what I do is when we get filled, I let everybody know. And then when we hit targets, I let everybody know. So that's what I do. Okay. So, hey, Asif, welcome. All right, guys. So back to the main room now. So it's key. One concept that we should spend a little bit of time talking about is relative strength. So Pepsi is green. Okay. It's green, but the market is red today. So that's very important because that means that there are still buyers willing to put money into Pepsi. So that's why I always swing trade as much sectors as I can so that I can be diversified and also I can find where the relative strength is and then focus on where the relative strength is. Okay. I also want to share with you guys this heat map in FinViz. So this, my friends, is how you can see how these are all the sectors. Okay. So this is a free tool. These are all the different sectors. Okay. In the stock market. And then the size of each one of these squares represents how big that stock is in that sector. So obviously in technology, Microsoft is the biggest, blah, 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 right? So here we go. So if we go to beverages and non-alcoholic, okay, we see Pepsi was green, but most of the market was red, okay? But Pepsi was green. So this, my friends, is what we call relative strength, okay? And then what you can do is you can make a watch list with the relative strength stocks and then look to day trade or swing trade them. All right. So does that make sense? Do you guys appreciate this? It's free tool. I use it all the time. FinViz. Okay. What the hell is this? All right. So does that make sense? Who asked the question again? Prabjot. Does that make sense? And okay, thank you. Perfect. All right, guys. So I'm going to keep going through the request. One thing that I need you guys to remind me of is I did take a few other trades based on some other strategies that I'm testing, and I want to share them with you. So if we have time by the end of the call today, I'll go through them. Okay. But first and foremost, I want to answer your chart request. So let's go to Walmart. So we entered Walmart actually today. And Walmart was looking really good. We were almost halfway to the target. So we almost hit the target and then we just sold off. So right now with Walmart, we're just going to see how things play out. There's obviously buyers here and there's obviously sellers. So there's both. So whenever you get into a situation like this, you just have to let it play out. Okay. You can move your stop loss up if you want to be a little bit more safe. But in these type of situations, you need to let things play out. Etsy. So Etsy is putting in this triangle pattern, this pennant, right? So eventually it's getting really tight and it looks like it's going to break out soon to the upside or the downside. Anything is possible here, preferably to the upside because it's been in a big bullish trend. But really the break above 220 or the break below 200 will really determine the next wave on Etsy. Okay, Pratam, I hope that helps. PLTR. So this is one of the stocks that I day trade. I don't really swing trade it because it's kind of very volatile, very bullshit. And you can see here that these are the calls I made on Twitter where we made a lot of good money. And then this thing died out. So right when you see, guys, let me talk to you about something, okay? After I made these call outs on Twitter and we made good money on the day trading side, right after that, everybody on Twitter was saying, oh, when we were here at 39, everyone's like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 100 or blah, blah, blah. And then the thing crashed. Anytime the majority of people are talking about something, you have a higher chance of doing the opposite to make money. Okay? And don't be fooled into thinking that these people on Twitter and other social media don't have agendas. They all have agendas. Sometimes people are telling you that, hey, this thing's going to go to 100, but they're selling their shares and they're trying to trap you. There's a lot of darkness that happens in this industry because everybody is greedy pigs, pretty much. All right. So have a plan, have your plan, trade your plan, ignore everybody else, trade your plan. I have specific plans. With PLTR, I day traded these inside bars. Okay. Inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. That's how I made money. Now looking at the weekly chart here, get rid of some of these. What I can see here is this is a fib for sure. So let's take it for the whole range. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. We've been holding the 618 for a long time and we're just continuing to chop. So the purpose here is to destroy option premiums and to trap people. So pretty much PLTR is something for me that I'm not really interested in right now because I just see a lot of traps and a lot of manipulations. Delfino, welcome. Pertam says thank you. Thank you very much. Pen, JD. Let's see what we got, boys and girls. Yeah, so Pen looks like it's pulling into a deeper fib. Let's draw the fib. Let's take it from this swing low here to this swing high. Okay, and we are right on the 618 right now. And this is why we had this little push up here. So some algorithm is here, but we're not sure if it's a strong enough algorithm to stop this downtrend. So let's see how this week closes. So when we come back to Sunday Stock Talk, let's talk about Pen at the end of the week and see if the 618 held completely. Then we can do a trade setup there. Okay? Make sense? JD. I suspect a lot of people are losing money these days because some of these names like JD and stuff, they have been doing weird things. And I think a lot of people have been getting hurt, unfortunately. So here with JD, here's a fib. Okay. So the 618 had tried to hold here. You see how it tried to hold? The algorithms did try, but now we blown right through. So the next level to really watch is 69.88 right here on the 786 to see if this is where the algos can step in. Oops. What did I do? Oh, I can show comments. That's cool. Actually, let me try that. Let me try that. Can you guys see when I share comments like this? Can you guys see that? Pertam says, thanks, Rich. Can you guys see that? That's so cool. I just accidentally clicked on somebody. Let's do Jeremy. That's cool, man. Let me know if you guys can see that because I'll try to incorporate it more because I appreciate you guys coming out here. Okay. Okay, good. So now we have a new toy to play with. I love new toys. Sam, TNDM looks like an okay daily inside bar. Going to be very picky with inside bars since so many breakouts are getting rejected a day later. Yes, it's a good point. TNDM. Yeah, I like this. I like this inside bar, especially since the 19th of April, we had this doji. So if we could squeeze through this doji wick, we could kind of pop up and get going. So I think that's pretty good. That is. So definitely watch that for day trade tomorrow. Keep your eyes on that. I think that's a pretty good one. Yeah. Yeah. So the market is trapping a lot of people, honestly. But guys, if you look at something I want to share with you, if you look at my swing trades for this week, right? I had Facebook, Walmart, Activision, Blizzard, Zillow, TD, Caterpillar, and Kroger, right? But I only got filled on one because I'm using stop limit orders, right? So the market tanked, and because it tanked, my orders to get filled on the upside never triggered. So I didn't enter any of these swing trades. So make sure, guys, if you're gonna do a swing and you don't want it, so if you want to wait for the confirmation, use stop limit orders. Okay, that's what I do. That's why I'm not filled on all these other positions. That's how I protect myself. Okay. Make sure you're using stop limit orders. Unless you're using, if you're doing fibs, it's better to use limit or wait for the candlestick confirmation. Okay. Here's a pop quiz. Okay. If we take 100 trades and we make on average 2 times our loser, how many trades out of 100 do we need to win? There's a pop quiz. So somebody throw the answer in there. Where does this thing go? It just disappears on me. Okay, back. All right. So there were some more chart requests on Twitter. Let's look at it together. We had HD, we did PayPal, Skills, and FSR. Skills. What the hell is going on with this thing? So we had this inside bar a few weeks ago, and look at this beautiful follow through down. That's probably a 2-to-1 right there. So that's a great trade. And then if we look at the daily chart, oh my God, do you guys see this? Do you guys see this or what? Every single inside bar has produced a winner to the downside. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. So I'm at, okay. So let's say you start off here, you risk 1,000, you short. Okay. Okay. Let's do this together. Okay. This is going to be very helpful for you guys. Okay. 34. Very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Sharon says rich. Okay. Let's put Sharon up here. Richest trades are good. I can attest his winners outweigh the losers. So Sharon is a part of my swing trading room since the beginning. And I very much appreciate that comment, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you very much. And, you know, as an example, we can look at Oracle. Oracle was my best swing trade for this year, where we're close to 10 times our money. So, you know, if you hit, okay, if I can hit, you know, maybe just in general, right? If you hit 10 times your money on one trade, you can lose the next 9 trades and still make money, right? So that's the concept, guys. Jeremy, do you want to see at least 2 candles of higher high to determine if a fib level is holding or not? Jeremy, I have specific ways that I do it. I outline them in my book. I use limit orders or I use a candlestick. Sometimes if you wait too long, the move will go without you. So that's why, you know, you either want to front run it or you want to have a confirmation, but you want to be aggressive. You don't want to wait until it's 20 points gone, because then you're going to put yourself in a bad situation. How do you use fibs on a chart like that? Okay, we'll talk about that. Matthew says, I can't lie, Rich, your book is magic. Honestly, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. When I wrote that book, it's like, it just kept flowing. Like, I don't know what writers call it. Like when you get into this zone, I was in a zone and it just kept going and going and going. And one of the things, so you guys know, like I have over 50 charts in the book, right? Let's pull up the book. Let's pull up the book together. Let's pull up the book together, okay? Let's look at it together. So you see, guys, for each one of these sections, I was debating how many charts to put, right? Because I was like, I was getting kind of lazy, like, oh my God, there's so many charts, right? But you can see here that I have almost 10 charts for each section. And the reason why is because I did not want to do a half-ass job with this book. I did not want to. This book will be my legacy. It's going to be part 1 of my legacy. So I really did a lot of effort in here to get you guys all the setups and all the charts in here. So this is my masterpiece, really. All right, guys. So back to where we were. Okay, so what we were talking about. We're talking about the inside bars. So I want to show you guys the potential, okay? Sorry. So let's say we short the first inside bar, okay? And for simplicity, all we're going to do is we're going to take the break down and put a stop on the high. That's it, okay? So we have that. Then we have this, okay? And then we have this, okay? Okay. All right. So all we had to do here was short when we break the low, put the stop on the high, okay? So the first one would have produced 6. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically we're still holding it. Okay, so 7 times on the first one, 4.5, let's just say, and this one is 3.5. Okay, so let's say that is 15R. Okay, so let's say that's 15R. So you made 15R in these 3 trades. All right, so what does 15R mean? 15R means 15 times your money. So whatever you put in, you made 15 times of your risk. That's what the R means, your risk. So if you had $1,000 stop loss here, $1,000 stop loss here, $1,000 stop loss here, then you would be walking away with $15,000 in profit. And this is what we call optimal risk to reward. So what you can see is we're always making more than our loser. So if any one of these turn around, we lose $1,000. But look at the potential here. Look at the potential. We risk 3,000 to make 15,000. Okay, that's 5 times our money. That is what we call trading. All right. So this is how you can do it very simply here, guys. I'm not saying it's going to work all the time, but I want to illustrate to you so that you can use some of these tools. Okay. So this was very, very beautiful setup. Tina says, still struggling with aligning SPY with ES times. Can you assist? Okay, let me take a sip of my mint tea. So let's look at SPY today. So SPY today had some really great inside bar shorts right here. Okay, this inside bar, this inside bar, this inside bar. These shorts were absolutely stunning. So Tina, what I do, okay, is when I trade SPY, I have a specific strategy that I use until 10:55. Okay, so that's my strategies here. These ones. Okay, limit system, candlestick, inside bar. Okay, those are the strategies I use for SPY. When it comes to ES, I have different strategies because I'm looking at the higher time frames. But when it comes to day trading, like when I want to come in here and I want to day trade and make a few bucks, I have different strategies. So you need to have different strategies. Okay, you can use alignment. You can align the Fibonacci levels from ES and then overlay them on SPY and then take trades like that. You can do that. But I prefer to have separate strategies for everything that I do because I don't want to confuse myself. I want to keep it simple. Okay. So for my systems, this was a short, this was a short, this was a short. Okay. And then the other setup that I had today was just this Fibonacci. If I take it from the low to the high, so if I take it from the high to the low for the short right here, we see right here, we have this rejections here, okay? We have the 50% rejection also aligned with the 618. So we had a triple wick rejection. This is a signal for me to short, all right? And then by time I take this trade here, I'm done for the day. That's it. I'm cut off. I don't trade past 11 o'clock. I keep it earlier than that because I don't want to overtrade and burn myself out. So if I have some runners and some profitable trades, I'll let them go and I'll trail my stop losses and into the close or, you know, at different targets. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Tina. Right. So there's different strategies for different things. Can you show how to enter stop limit order on PLTR shorts, for instance? It depends on your broker. Javier. It depends on your broker. Okay. I use interactive brokers. So if I want to, I have to put in something called the stop limit order. I have a video on it. Okay. I have a video on the basics of that. So check out my YouTube channel. I have one. Okay. So watch the video on that. But it also depends on your broker because every broker has like a different way of entering orders. So I use interactive brokers so I can help you with that. But I'm not really familiar with anything else. All right. So as promised, I wanted to share with you guys a few things. Okay, so underarm, oops. So I've been playing around with we'll check that video. Thank you. I've been playing around with different time frames and I'm still back testing and getting data. So one of the time frames that I've been using is the 3-week chart. Actually, let's look at Ford as a better example. So the 3-week chart, okay? My philosophy, guys, is if someone is using the most common charting timeframes we hear about are like the weekly, the monthly, the daily, the hourly, 15-minute, 5-minute. But I really wanted to challenge the norm and step out of the box. So thankfully on TradingView, you can like create any time you want right here. Okay. So what I did was I decided to look at different time frames, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and see what I can get out of them. Like see if they're accurate, like if they make money. Okay. So because obviously the higher time frame you go, the bigger the candles are, the more volume there are in the candles. So my thesis here is that the higher time frame we go, the more reliable the signal should be in terms of Fibonacci and inside bars, because there's more volume and because the candles are larger. So it's harder to manipulate that, right? So 3 weeks means so each candle is 3 weeks of buyers and sellers in the market. So it's a lot of data, right? So what I did here on Ford was I manually scan the market for these setups, guys, because I don't have a scanner that scans like 2 week, 3 week. I have a scanner that scans the 1 week and the monthly and specific time frames. I don't have a scanner that does 3 weeks. So I manually went through my list. So my list is here daily. So this is my list of all the stocks that I watch. Okay. So what I did here is I entered at $12.06 and I had a stop loss at $12.62 for a short. And the reason I wanted to short here is I wanted to take this doji candle down. We had actually about three wicks in this area. So I took a short right here and my target is right here. You see where this line is right here? The alert, $11.20 is my target. So I'm pretty close to my target. So hopefully I hit it tomorrow. If not, I'll be moving my stop loss to break even and just taking some partials. So at least I make some money. Okay. So I'm experimenting with different time frames and I love it. I love it because I want to step outside the box. So if you guys are interested in things like that, like things that you don't commonly hear about, 2 week, 3 week, etc., tune into my Sunday stock talks. Join the private room if you can, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of different things in there now. I'm gonna be adding a few different things for my my paying subscribers. I want to help them to achieve their goals, and this is one of the things that I'm really trying to push myself. Is okay. So instead of looking at an hourly chart, why don't we look at an 80-minute chart? Those type of concepts. Okay. So David says, what would be your trailing stop loss in the SPY? Okay, good question. So what I do, let me go back to SPY. What I do in the SPY and with my day trades is I have a rules. Basically, whenever I hit my first target, so let's just say I'm shorting here. Okay, let's say I'm shorting this inside bar and my stop is on the high like this. Okay, so let's say my first target is at 1-to-1. Okay, which is right here. So whenever I hit my first target, so 1-to-1, I'm gonna do some scaling out. And then as we go lower, let's say we get to 1.52, I'm just gonna get my stop loss to break even. Okay. My goal is to get my stop loss to break even at some point. So that's what I do. So when I say trailing to get my stop loss to break even. And then as we get down to these lower levels, I'll scale out, just continuously scaling out. So what do you think about Disney since Netflix did bad? Well, I think what we need about 1 week of digestion, and then we can make an assessment based on the charts. Right now, we need Netflix and all the other streaming platforms to figure out what they want to do, and then we can take the trades based on that. Okay, so we need some more time for the candlesticks to develop. What do you think about pre-market for fib measurements intraday? Pre-market is good. It's still a 50-50 shot. It's not 100% accurate. And personally, the pre-market, unless I use the pre-market to add that as an extra confirmation for trade setups, but I don't take trades solely on pre-market levels. Okay. But you could definitely do something like that, but you would need to have a good strategy that's back tested and proven before you enter that ball game. How do you take partials? From Tina. So Matthew says, thank you, Matthew. How I take partials based on targets. Okay, so all right, so let's revisit here. So you see here this risk to reward ratio. So the first target is at 1, then the next one, let's say 1.5, and then 2, and then 2.5, then 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, etc. So every time I make a multiple of my risk, I scale out. Okay, like that's how I do it. So when I'm down here, you know, this is 6.5 times my money. So in theory, if I held it from all the way up here to here, I would have made $6,500. But that's not reliable, right? You're not always going to make 6.5 times your money. So what I do instead is, as I hit targets like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., I'm scaling out. So let's say like 50%, 25%, 25%, 10%, whatever, like whatever I feel like. But the majority, the bulk of the position will come off on the safe target. So like 1 to 1, 1.5, 2. Most of my position is gone by there because that's the most reliable. Okay. And then the rest of it is just like, all right, I'm keeping this on for a home run. And then I scale out as I see fit. But I've already made my money in the beginning. And then I put my stop loss to break even. So no matter what, I can't lose on the rest of the trade. Okay. Does that make sense? So we're at 24 people. I really wanted to get above 30 people so I could give away a copy of the book, but we'll just keep trying, guys. We'll keep trying. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Before I got sick, we had maybe 50, 60 people. And then as soon as I got sick, I don't know where everyone went. So, but, you know, we'll build our way back up. All right. So does anyone have any more questions? We went through a lot today. We always go through a lot. Like every time we have these sessions, it's pretty much, I'm not here to bullshit you guys. I give you guys free strategies. I help you guys out. We go through chart requests. We learn about fibs together. I think it's very, very awesome. It gives me a lot of happiness to do this. So if you guys have any more questions or anything, please feel free to put it in the chat. But if not, I'm going to call it here if not. But, you know, maybe we can get one more question. Anybody have a question? Okay, here we go. Jerry. All right, Jerry. Let's pull up his question together. Do you think we're heading to the 40-50s on ES? Okay, so let's go back to ES. Let's go back to the hourly. Okay. So like I said at the beginning of the week, everything really relies on this level. So the 41, let's just call it 4,100. Okay. 4,100 is basically last week's low. So until 4,100 is broken, everything else is just, it's okay. It's just a normal pullback in an uptrend. So it's not a big deal, right? So if we draw the fib here, we can see the fibs are working well. Everything seems okay. Nothing is too damaged. But if we do break this low at 4,100, then we can definitely start dropping, and we can start dropping pretty sharply. So it's a possibility we see 40-50, but I don't think it's going to be like this week unless we start breaking. If we start breaking through these levels tomorrow, we could potentially get there. But I see us really consolidating and basing a lot here and then maybe selling off. Or if the bulls want to take control, they need to do it soon. They definitely need to do it soon. All right. Okay, one more thing. How do you know if you're drawing the fib intraday correctly? I know if I'm drawing the fib intraday correctly because I have a lot of experience trading it. So, but pretty much, like you know from my book, I have two sets of times where I draw my fibs. One is the morning leg where I'm looking at the open from 9:30 to about 11 o'clock. That's going to be one fib leg. And then the next fib leg is going to be the afternoon leg, which goes to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And that's going to be the whole range of the day. And then the last thing that I look at fib is the gap. So the gap, I'll draw the fibs in the gap. So those are the three ways that I use the fibs. All right. Can you look at tech stocks, Tesla, Microsoft, Square, Amazon, IWM? Okay, let's do a quick rundown through these. Okay, so Tesla is working on an inside week. Tesla is working on an inside week right now. So I want this week to close. Let's let this week close for Tesla. What do we discuss about Tesla? We talk about Tesla all the time. Tesla is really popular. We take the Fibonacci from the high to the low, from the low to the high. We have a 618 that's being held here for the bulls, but we have an opposing leg right here. We take it from the high to the low. We have an opposing leg right here to 618. So this is called the battle of the Fibonacci. This is the battle of the robots. There's robots here, there's robots here, and they're battling. So this inside bar, if we can close like this at the end of the week with an inside close, I will be all over this inside bar looking for trades. But as of right now, it's just consolidating because there's a battle. There's a battle here and there's a battle here. So these are the war lines. Okay, so this is the enemy territory, and here's the other enemy's territory. And until one of those territories break, then it's just pretty much chop. Okay, Microsoft doing very well. Microsoft is my largest holding in my long-term portfolio. I absolutely love Microsoft. And, we're at all-time highs. We're hanging out over here. So just pretty much, if we start pulling back, look for something like this. So this setup, guys, is what I love. Okay, this is the setup that I love here, guys. So this pullback to the mid-Bollinger Band. Okay, if we can start pulling back there, look for the next leg like that. And we did actually take this inside bar long here on Microsoft right here. So we did take this one, and we made a lot of money in the swing trading room as well. So very, very good stuff. Square. So Square, I got burnt on Square back here. I did try to trade it, but didn't work out. So what I see here with Square is this like potential double top action happening here. So it's a little bit scary because if we do start breaking through these lows, 225, 201, then I think we can have a significant kind of sell off here. But for now, the mid Bollinger Band is going to be support. So let's see if that can turn around and hold everything. Okay. Amazon. So Amazon did break out of this inside bar, producing a winner, but there's a lot of resistance in this zone. And that's why Amazon is still finding rejection here. There's a lot. And if you guys can see, I drew this box around Amazon, and I really think that Amazon is going to just continue to chop until it can break through this box, because this is just a box of consolidation right here. Okay. And then IWM. So IWM is putting in a pretty nice setup right now. It's holding the mid Bollinger Band. So if we can turn around right above 224 here, I think that's a great setup to push back to all-time highs. All right. So, but if we do start breaking down, we could possibly pull back a little bit deeper. Okay. I'm with you. Sometimes I find it challenging to make sense. So just look for impulse moves. Yeah, Matt, I've been doing this for 6 years. So just take your time. You're gonna get there. I see fibs and everything now. So don't worry about it. Just take your time. It's learning a new skill. And once you pick it up, it will never go away. It's like riding a bike. And then Asif says, Microsoft's my largest holding as well. I entered in the stock when it was 120. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very well done. So that's a very good play there. Okay. All right. So there we go. We got a lot of work done today. And we will keep in touch. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitter. If interested in what I do, guys, whatever you want to do, want to learn, whether it's day trading, swing trading, whatever, DM me. I'm happy to talk to you on the phone about your situation. I love connecting with people. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you guys joining me. We will get above 30 people soon, and I'll be giving away free copies of my book. Rich, for V, do we wait for this week to form? Yeah, Sharon, let's wait for this week to close, and we can look at Visa. Thanks, Rich. Thank you. So let me flash you guys over here. Appreciate you guys, okay? All of you guys. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.